step into the spotlight, it's the Dynasty team. Brian B. Money making all the dreams gleam. Carl Smitty Smith, watch him rise in the scene. Together they ignite, it's the ultimate scheme. Hold on tight, feel the hype, we're just getting started. Dynasty's BBS show, we're climbing to the peak. B Money and Smitty, every episode unique. Confidence high, yeah, we never stay weak. Tune in with us, learn the craft and technique.
And drafting players left and right for consistent spikes. I wanted you in the round before, glad you fell to me tonight. Early QBRTE strategies are plenty. I'm on the clock right now and I just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Best ball summer is here. Should I draft receiver or running back? Just can't get enough. I'm losing my mind. Values on the table, I'll draft him if I'm able. I just got sniped, man, that ain't right. Might ruin your stack out of spite. I just gotta pivot, gotta be fluid. 999 ADP, gems aplenty, and I just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Best ball summer is here. Will you be healthy for the entire ride? Just can't get enough. I'm losing my mind, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the thick of best ball summer, and we are having a ball. We are having a best ball, if you will. Brian, how are you doing, my man?
Smitty, I'm doing good. I'm not even going to talk about myself. We have to talk about that opening. You want to make me happy about the opening there, Smitty? I'm usually the one that goes off for like a minute. You're usually the one that keeps it simple and sweet. That was your best rhythm, dude. That one rocked.
Wow.
That was your best opener ever. Minus the Puka, what was it? A Puka Nakua time or something like that. The Lion King one you did once. That was great.
Oh, shout out. Yeah. Nakua
Shout
Matata.
out. Yo, so y'all, welcome in. We basically took a month off, man. World Cup happened. Life got at us. But Smitty, I've been talking to you for 15 minutes before we even started this, and it just hit me that you have a Donald goat right behind you. And I absolutely love it because in sunny LA, it's getting sunnier. We're going to jump right in the news, y'all. And by the way, it is July 13th. Hit me with the news, man. Rams, they might get the goat of all goats back. Just take the mic and have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week, Aaron Donald has been seen in the Rams practice facility for reasons. Today, oh my God, that's right. Today, he even has a picture with Devontae Adams. We even have all the players like just really excited, and the drumbeat for the Rams actually acquiring Aaron Donald is becoming more real than ever. Now, I'll say this, a couple weeks ago, we did release a player. It was some undrafted guy. I guess we weren't feeling him, but he played defensive tackle. So a lot of fans are speculating, are we leaving this spot open for the GOAT? We don't know. Honest to God, I don't even know if that spot's been filled since, but I've been in my heart leaving it open for Mr. Donald, Aaron Donald, because how crazy would it be if he actually returned? Because being very honest with you, my man right here, 99, he retired in his prime. He retired on a high. He retired in his prime. And it was honestly a really crazy gut shock, like a gut punch, a serious like internal shock, and a sad day when he decided to retire. We completely understood why. He said, hey, man, I've been in this game for 10 years. I accomplished exactly what I wanted to. And I feel like we've done it.
Sound like Too Short over here. Album
fair.
number
Which is
10.
fair. My man. So I don't look at this point. I still don't know if we're actually going to sign him because I mean the money is drying up a little bit. I have to be realistic. We are paying a lot of players. We are playing Trent McDuffie. We found a way to when we acquired Myles Garrett, it was kind of favorable financially. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe we do have somebody. Maybe he plays for less than he's worth, which I don't entirely suggest. But if that's what he wants to do, cool. So I don't fully know the logistics, but I will say this: if he is a part of our team this coming season, I'm crying. I'm gonna cry like a newborn baby, honestly, because that's crazy.
This ain't about the money. It will never be about the money. The Rams could have $1,000 to spend next year. He's coming back for something else.
Oh,
And that's what I love about this. But you want to know who that roster spot is not open for?
let's hear it.
All right. It is not open for Terrion Arnold. That's what I love. It's not open for
Nice,
that club.
nice.
Because I'm going to tell you what, now that we're getting into the news, there are 4 teams that are on my really mad list right now: Houston, Texas, Indianapolis Colts, Seattle Seahawks, New York Jets, who are all calling Terrion Arnold's agent for possibility of signing him. Got to keep that guy out of the NFL for right now, man, with all that trouble. But sorry, I had to get that one in there. Had to. But man, I hope Darnold comes back, Smitty. I hope he comes back.
I mean, like I said earlier, he left during his prime, so for him to come back, look, okay, I'll say this. I'm not expecting him to be, as the dominant defensive tackle he was when he was playing, especially in the Super Bowl. I'm not expecting that. I expect, he's been out the league for like almost 5 years. I think this might be year 5. But so I'm not expecting, like the greatest player of all time. But I am excited, and that's all I can say. I'm just really hyped, dude. I'm really hyped. This is crazy. I can't even really articulate how excited I am.
So let me ask you this.
Mhm.
He has more in the tank than Calais Campbell does, right?
Dude, Calais is forever, it seems.
So could Eric Donald, is my point. They're built from a
Oh,
different mold, man.
oh,
Like, he doesn't have to be Aaron Donald from 4 years ago. He doesn't have to be. That's what Miles Garrett is. All he has to be is better than an average defensive player, and you're going to probably win a Super Bowl if you stay healthy. So
that is so
rank
true.
these defenses for me: Seattle,
Mhm.
Texas, LA. Rank them right now with and without Aaron Donald.
Okay, without Aaron Donald, I feel like, look, honestly, I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna get into why. I guess I will. The very first game the Rams had last year was against the Houston Texans, and that team, their defense was so good. I was actually concerned and worried for our 2025 season, which is hilarious because Stafford ended up being the MVP. But that was our very first game, and they were scary. They were scary right off the gate. So I have all the respect for that defense. Um, I feel like the Rams have improved everything they needed to, which is why I'm going to put them at number 1. And this is without Donald. So number 1, going to the Rams. And number 2, just for the creativity and the savviness that Mike McDonald gives to the Seattle Seahawks and the Nick Eamon worry of it all. They pretty much kept everybody, which is crazy. So I'm going to go Seahawks number 2. And honestly, it might really just be 2A, 2B because, like I said, Houston is scary. So I'm going to put the Rams above, but I'm going to be honest and say slightly above. We might honestly do a 1A, 1B, 1C type deal. Now
Pretty
with
good defense.
Donald, then we're one number 1 period, right?
The second LA got Miles Garrett, everybody was saying they're the best defense regardless.
That's
They
true.
are.
I'm trying to be
And with
modest here.
our GOAT joining back. But I have Texas number 2 and I have Seattle number 3 just because they lost a little bit on the defensive side, Seattle.
That's
But
true.
this is going to be the Rams world. And I was so happy when I was seeing Aaron Donald and Devontae Adams together, that picture. And then I scrolled a little bit lower and I got so sad at Sleeper putting a picture of Matthew Stafford and Justin Jefferson. And the question was, would Justin Jefferson be Cooper Kupp's breakout season every year if he had Stafford as his quarterback? And my sad part is he would be better than Puka Nakua. And it hurts my soul that Jettas doesn't have Matthew Stafford. Like, it hurts my soul. It really does. But
I
all right,
get
you want
that. Yeah.
Jeff Diggs. He's out there saying he's the best number 2 in the league. I don't really care about talking about Steph Diggs because I'm going to give everybody a little tip that if you listen to this podcast, you probably know.
Hmm.
If you're drafting behind me in a draft and you're hoping for a player that has legal trouble or abuses women, I can promise you I will not snipe you. Do not want them on my team. But you know what? He's still a good receiver. So what's your take on Steph?
You know what? Honestly, he convinced me. I think he is one of the better players at wide receiver 2. I mean, obviously I can probably name 5 better than him as far as wide receiver 2s go. I probably name about 5. I for sure can name 2 or 3. But I mean, not everyone had like this. He's great. I think he had. There's a lot of teams that could use him, honestly, that could use him as a 1. Unfortunately, there's a lot of messy, nasty situations out there too where I'm surprised he isn't signed already. Now, of course, I completely understand when you have all those type of legal issues, and he even has like a new one that he just settled. The guy's a mess. The guy's a mess, but If we're strictly talking skills, strictly talking football, I mean, I think he should have been signed, honestly.
No, I agree he should be signed, but let's play a little game here just
Ooh.
because we can and I like doing this, and let's find out where Steph Diggs ranks against number 2 wide receivers. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go down the league here. All right. So
Yes. This game's fun.
Romeo Dobbs or Steph Diggs?
You know what's so weird about that one? It feels like the Patriots chose Dobbs, but no, I'm gonna go Diggs.
I have Dobbs.
Fair.
Uh, Buffalo, we don't need to talk about because that's not happening at all. Miami, he would probably be the wide receiver one. Fair enough to say.
Absolutely.
New York Jets, where would he rank? Garrett Wilson,
Mm.
Mark Cooper. Who's our third wide receiver?
I mean, Adonai Mitchell. I
Yeah,
don't know.
AD Mitchell.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put Steph above Omar, and I really enjoyed Omar as a prospect. So, oh no, I mean he's definitely behind Garrett Wilson. In fact, dude, I'll say this to you now, and maybe never again. I'm feeling the Garrett Wilson hype, dude. I am. But yeah, I got Steph Diggs. That's a perfect two for that system.
I agree with you there. He would be the two. Pittsburgh. So DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Steph Diggs.
I mean, that's just ew. I'm sorry. It's just I mean, they all are gonna play one. They're all gonna play two. They're all gonna play three. That's a best
Doesn't
ball
it get
player for me.
worse when you say Aaron Rodgers after that?
Yeah, it does. Honestly, it
Oh,
totally
all
does.
right. I don't have him there. Baltimore, I'll give him a 2 in Baltimore behind Zay
Mm-hmm.
Flowers. Cincinnati, not a
Oh
chance.
no, sorry.
Cleveland, I'll give him Cleveland. He might
Yeah,
be the one there.
he could.
Jacksonville, I don't have him as a 2 in Jacksonville.
Oh my
And I
god, I
don't
didn't
even
even
know
think
who I'd
about
have the
Jacksonville. He
one.
has no chance. He has no chance.
No chance. Houston, that's not happening again, by the way.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like him in Houston as a two. Yeah, I kind of him and Nico. That could be some.
Josh Downs, Alec Pierce.
Ooh, that's tough. Ooh, that's really tough.
I have
I
Josh Downs better than him.
This is gonna be a fun year for Josh Downs. I mean, I'd rather answer this question next year. I know that's not what we're doing, but I want to see what Josh Downs can do.
I can go through all of this, and the reality is there's not too many teams I think he's a number 2.
Oh, I'm shocked to hear that.
I mean, maybe 10, maybe. I mean, I don't even think he could be number 2 in Arizona. I don't think he'll be number
No,
2 in San Francisco, not in LA. Um, I think in Seattle
neither
he'll be number.
LA's definitely. Oh, you know what? In Seattle, honestly, man,
I
I think he'd
I
smash.
go there.
I
I
think
do
he'd.
go there with him as a number 2.
Yeah, I think he would smash. Ooh, here's my
I
favorite.
don't know, but I think we're going through this and saying Steph Diggs is definitely not the best 2. I think we can agree with that one, right?
Yeah, well, how
Yeah.
about
Well,
okay, what do you think
you
if he
think
was in
if you
the Titans? This is gonna be my last one. If he was the Titans wide receiver too,
no,
think he beat out Wandell? Nope. Okay.
I don't. I do not.
All right, well, that's a massive problem on his part. So yeah, you're right. He's not. He's not a number
Dude,
two.
Wandell had an amazing season last year. He's got the same head coach or the offensive coordinator that was his head coach for most of the year. Like, I think there's big days ahead for Wandell. I don't
Hey,
think he'll do what he did last year, but he's a 100 reception guy. I just don't think he's at 115, 120 like he was last year.
Darnell
So
Tate
let's talk
might
a
be
little
the
bit
two.
about JT. You know,
Oh,
there's a lot
please,
of
yes.
on Sleeper that's saying that they want to manage his workload a little bit. They don't want to get him as many touches. And this is the point during the offseason, Smitty, where I'm like, we've gone too far. We should be giving him less touches. This isn't a 911 situation that he's getting 30% of the workload. So what if he gets 65 of it? Who cares? It's
Okay.
JT. We want him healthy, right?
I mean, absolutely, absolutely.
This makes me want to own him more. And I know people look at it differently. I'm like, sweet, I can get a little less work off of my dude.
Honestly, I really appreciate your optimism because you are seeing it the right way. I did have a reaction that was negative. And just I also really have no idea who the guy behind him is. There's McGowan, there's Giddens. I don't even. Ugh. I really don't know who that guy is. So when I hear that he wants to get less touches, or that they're thinking about less touches for him, then that means more for one of those guys. And I'm just not. I don't like that idea at all. So that's why I'm super negative on this blurb here. But I do need JT to be a little more healthier because when he has a full season doing hat tricks all season long, that's I mean that's worth the depressed price.
Maybe maybe this is the old Chris McCaffrey thing over and over. This was
Yes.
on Saquon Barkley over and over. And the
Yes.
reality is you get in games, you're playing for the playoffs, you're going to get the ball if they need you. Maybe in blowouts, they give him a little bit of rest. But if we're blowing it out, maybe JT already has 2 touchdowns in the game. So I don't know. I just thought it was stupid news. A lot of it's stupid. We're getting all the hype. And speaking of this, listeners, we're going to do a little thing right now.
Ooh.
We're going to pull up a guy on Twitter who is 9,000 followers, a little bit newer to Twitter in this world. We're newer as a podcast. So let's give this guy some loving. Let's go through his Twitter. Let's look at all of his hype news and all of this, and let's break it down. His name is Zane Dahani, we believe.
Thank you.
I'm positive on the first name. I think the last name's Dahani, but it could, maybe it's a Hanani. Could be that as well.
Look, Zane D. Look, bro. First off, I very much appreciate you giving his last name a shot. I am too scared to offend anyone, especially when it comes to their names. So thank you for giving it a shot. Like he said, he
You know
does. He
what?
doesn't quite have
If
10,000
Zane's
yet.
offended if I messed up his last name, don't be mad. We're giving you love. We're doing the best. Let's see if we can get him some followers, man.
Yeah, because this guy has the intel. Now, again, this is on a website that is controlled by people we are not the most positive about, but I will say this. Take this with a grain of salt because this is, like I just said, this is a shaky site. But I mean, honestly, I adore the content. And let's start
Wait,
with
wait,
this.
will you go up a little bit on the right? Just a
Oh,
little bit more. Oh, there it is. France, Spain, tomorrow, 12. Sorry. Just got all
let's go.
happy when I saw that. Let's go, Yamal. Let's go. It's Spain's year. Sorry. All right. Continue. My bad.
Oh no, I definitely, dude. Shout out Spain. We are a Spain pod right here. Okay. Let's start with his. Oh, let's take a look at his latest. I'm sorry, I love this guy because it's just he talks nothing but players. So, AD Mitchell's listed as a Jets breakout pick. Locked in stars, strong chemistry with Geno Smith looked his way more than who? G Willie looked at AD more than G Willie. Crazy, crazy. In fact, look honestly, if y'all want to say, "Hey, Smitty, get this guy on my screen," I understand, but no, because this
Now we're
is
going to
this
talk
is
about
interesting. We
80.
could definitely do something with this news. Right?
We could
And
do a
honestly, I
lot with
see it. I'm not saying he's better than G Willie, but how do you feel about this news of AD Mitchell potentially breaking out?
So first off, this is the best ball pod today we're doing, and AD Mitchell has found his way on so many of my best ball squads for the simple factor that I actually feel good about Geno Smith this year. I think it's going to be a decent year for him, and we still have our ongoing water bet whether or not Geno's a starter next year, and I think he's going to be.
It's gonna be
But
interesting.
when I read stuff like this, I'm like, sweet. Geno's got more weapons, and we've seen flashes from AD. I mean, the only reason that the Colts ran him out of the building was the fumble going over the end zone. They
Yeah.
never forget that.
Against
But last year we saw it. We saw it. And
sorry.
look, there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense.
Mm.
So the reality is you've got to get balls to the tight end that you just drafted. You've got to get balls to the wide receiver you just drafted. We believe, or at least I believe, that there's a top 10 wide receiver on the other side named Garrett Wilson. So I'm looking at this as a spike week player, not something I think I'm going to take into redraft, but I think from a best ball standpoint on this podcast, I think you should be adding AD Mitchell to a lot of squads. I really do.
I fully agree. And then also, I do like how just more context for Geno. He saw enough when he has time to throw. Jets have a better O line than Raiders. So, I mean, yeah, I'm with this. I'm with it. I mean, he's too cheap. He's too cheap in best ball drafts to not give him a shot. And honestly, what does
That's a
reaching
type
for
of
me to
hype
look
news.
like?
That's the type of hype news I like doing the last round pick in a redraft and just see what it looks like week one. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I like that.
100%. Let's go to the next thing because that was fun. Ooh, we have a OL consensus ranking. You know, honestly, that would be fun later, but I just want to get some more player stuff. Oh my gosh.
This isn't
Okay.
an online podcast tonight. Oh,
All
let's
right.
just
So
stop
I,
right there.
yep.
Just stop it. Just stop it. Oh,
Unquestioned number one tight end, along with previous reports of him being the top target in the New York Giants land, in the what do they call it, the Meadowlands. Listen, we fully agree with this, so it's fun to hear others say it. And then there's this whole blurb of John Harbaugh shouting him out and all this. I'm sorry, I'm not reading it. I just totally appreciate seeing stuff like this because it just reinforces how we as a pod feel, especially my man Brian over here.
I want to cry. When I read this, I want to cry. And the reason I want to cry is I believe this news is real. I believe Likely can be a top 5 tight end in the league fantasy wise. But when I read this, Mitty, you want to know what I know in my heart? Likely has never gotten an article written about him like this. He's had hype, but it's always been who's in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get the shot. We will know what Isaiah Likely is this year if he stays healthy. All questions will be answered. And that
Yeah.
makes me happy. You
And
remember
honest,
Jackson Dart's little like mind meld with was it Theo Johnson?
I believe it was Theo. Yep.
I know that Likely embraces mind melds with quarterbacks.
That's
He's
so
one
true.
with them. So I think that's going to be a really good chemistry from Jackson Dart, who likes to throw to tight ends. I love it. This is
Yeah,
my
me
fave.
too. Yeah,
They
and
say you want a
honestly,
top tight end or top 3 guy. If I don't get like legit a top 3 guy or that fringe top 5, this is who I'm attacking, whose ADP is probably after tight end 10 right now. And I think he's going to have much better than a tight end 10 season. I think he's going to be very consistent from the tight end spot, actually.
you honestly stole the sentence out of my mouth and said it way better than I could have. Yes, I am
Sorry.
super cool with him being my one. If I don't get, uh oh, we got Terrence Ferguson news. Okay, so continually hearing that he is effectively their wide receiver 3. Okay, so that answers a lot of questions for me. So when I look at the Rams, I came in saying, oh, maybe our 7th round draft pick of this class, CJ Daniels, can be the Rams wide receiver 3. I mean, look, Puka being the number 1, Devontae Adams being the number 2. That 3 is high key valuable because both of them are going to have a lot of attention on each other. And of course, the wide receiver 3 would be a freaking tight end for the LAR. So this is awesome. I'm very excited to hear this. I mean, when you're in a basketball draft, why not is how I feel about him.
The tight end was your wide receiver 3 last year. It was just 3 or 4 different dudes.
That's true.
And I'm over here laughing when I was reading this because I don't know if I've told you this, Smitty.
Hmm.
During Dynasty rookie draft season and all the leagues we were playing, I literally hit a point where if I couldn't get a 3rd round pick traded, I would make sure I drafted CJ Daniels because I knew you would give me a 3rd for him. That was literally a draft strategy of mine if I had to do it. So
Look,
when
that
you
was
had a 3rd
wise.
round to give up, I drafted him. When you didn't, I did not.
That was wise, man. Because I just been really trying to figure out of these crop of receivers and tight ends, who could it be? And it seems like our questions have been answered. Thank you, T. Fergie.
I think
I'm sorry. Let's do
I
another
think
one.
Jurgensen is the tight end one of the team for this year. We're going to see what Max Clare does. We still got Tyler Higbee there. I mean, there's just a bunch of bodies. I
Too
think it's going to
many.
be a rotation of bodies, though. They're going to run a lot of 12 personnel this year because I think they're going to lack on that wide receiver 3, dude, like big time. I mean, but they're so strong at running back in their top 2 dogs that run 12 out there, and staff will find one of the 3 tight ends. But best ball, just draft them, right? It doesn't matter which one. They're going to be late. Just draft one.
Dude, they're all late. And man, and honestly, if you drafted the player way too late for it to actually matter, in my opinion. So, all right. Uh, this one kind of
So why
bothers
did they
me.
draft Max Clare?
I, I don't have an
Like, if
answer,
you
man.
like
I gotta
Ferguson,
be,
like, I mean, legit, if you like Ferguson and you went with the QB Simpson at the 12th or 13th pick,
yeah,
why
13.
wouldn't you then just say, let me draft a position I don't need or a position of need? That's what I don't get. I never hated the Samson pick. I just legitimately hated the tight end pick then. I just hate them the two together.
To
It's
be
just
very
weird.
honest with you, I didn't really understand any of that draft. I think day one just ruined me to where I was like, y'all just doing what y'all want for the remainder of this draft. And honestly, I'll admit, I still don't fully understand the Ty Simpson pick, but it's cool. At least we have that figured out, which I love. So, let's
You
move
need a
on to
backup
some
quarterback.
more quarterback
You need a
talk.
plan of the future. And the reality is Stafford still is a bad back. Like you need someone that might be able to play this year with the squad you're building. You cannot give up what you just built, especially if Darnold comes back because Staff goes down. Now we both know they're not winning a Super Bowl, if Staff goes down, but you just can't have nothing just in case. Like you've got to have something.
Bro, you know what I've been hearing? I've been hearing
Joe Burrow.
that the quarterback two battle is genuinely a battle between Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson. And it's like Stetson knows the system enough, but I mean, to where he actually could beat out Ty Simpson. Like, and if that's the case, I'm overexposed in Dynasty, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
So we do have confirmation that Stetsy is not in rehab.
He's not in rehab. He's out there really fighting for that second spot. I mean, for QB2, he's really. There's no
I'll
Jimmy
root for
Garoppolo,
him.
so we don't have him anymore. So it's really a QB2 battle Simpson versus Bennett.
All I'm saying is you better hope Steph doesn't sign with LA. And the reason being is that pink substance is going to find its way to Stetson Bennett and it's over. He'll never be the same. Sorry. Y'all, if you don't listen to us, we've been having this ongoing joke about Stetson Bennett being in and out of rehab for so long, and we have no idea how this started, but I cannot help it. We just got to keep going. But
Oh my god!
all right,
So
while Smitty's laughing, we've got the QB competition between Michael Penix versus Tua Tagovailoa. Can't start until Penix gets healthy, and we don't know when that will be yet. Zane, thank you for speaking the obvious on this one. I
oh,
appreciate.
I'm sorry. It wasn't obvious to me. I thought Penix was. I thought he was there already. I mean, I guess that just shows how little I knew because I thought Penix was pretty much ready to go. Bruh,
No,
are we so Tua's really about to be the quarterback one just because he's healthy? I mean, I look, first off, fair. Y'all have so much talent on offense. You need someone competent to run it, but I didn't know Penix was this behind in his health. I did not know that. So I'm a little irritated if I'm being honest with you.
so if Michael Penix is fully healthy right now, never had an injury, Tua is in the building, who do you have as the better quarterback? Because I firmly have. I
Penix. Because I will say this, even though the Bills defense is not like God tier, he was able to smack that team up. And I just can't forget that. So, and Tua hasn't smacked anything up last year. I mean, I gave him a lot of credit for being, you know, not a complete garbage can, but this right here, I think
So I still
I don't like it.
believe that the absolute fallout and debacle in Miami should
Hmm.
not be on his hands. He's part of it. But I've said this many times. I don't think that offense ever even tried to change. And it just you have to change in the NFL. I don't think it's all in Tua. I think Tua, I don't think he's a top 20 quarterback in the league, but he's gotta be between 20 and 32 for me.
Yeah, no,
Some
yeah,
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 I
for
don't know.
sure.
I don't see it from Penix, man. I don't think that's gonna work out.
That sucks. That sucks. But you know
I
what?
could be weird.
Honestly, I fully agree, especially knowing this. I don't know. I was literally walking around in life thinking that Penix was going to be healthy by the start of the season. Jesus Christ! All right, so I gotta move. I'm starting to get a little
Damn,
bothered.
I wish I would have sent you some trade offers because I got a few Penix shares I would like to unload.
Oh man! All right, so there must be some
See,
article like.
look at Penix looking at Tua right here. Like, man, I wish I could throw the football like that. Doesn't look like I know I'm not the starter. Sorry.
I don't know what I just did. I guess I clicked the next tweet. All right, so
Start
the
reading it.
continual drum beating that picture was funny. But the continual drum beat and confirmation on Jaden Higgins having a big role expansion in 2026 is cool to see. Agree. Fully agree. Because I swear to God, this man Stroud needs weapons. That's all I got to say.
We're going to talk about them in a little bit when we get on the best ball here, but I could not agree with this tweet anymore. I like what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a beat of a drum like we saw out of Nico after his rookie season when nobody wanted to hold him.
Oh my, whoa. That was an excellent comparison because I faded Nico like no other. And I look
What
so
I do
stupid now.
is Jaden Higgins is better than Noel. I do know that Tank is not going to be the same when he gets back. Like, I just can't believe he's going to be the same. I think Tank
I
will
fully
have a
agree.
role on this offense, but the elite superstar that Tank once could be, small man on speed, or not on speed. He relies on his speed. All right,
Yeah.
we're not depending that one. He relies on his speed and his cutting. Those were two horrific injuries he just went through, and he's been removed for a couple of years now. So I mean, I could not love Higgins more. I know this is usually a dynasty podcast. I don't think many people can get Higgins that are in leagues with me. I've got him in a lot of leagues. I love the man.
All
I
right.
got
Well,
6'4", 215. Woof.
yeah, I didn't realize he's quite, that's a nice target size, my boy. Shout out to Higgins. I just worry about that team as a whole. We'll get into that though. Yeah,
Let's talk
let's
about it right
do.
now. Actually, yeah, we will get into that later.
Okay. Once this loads, la-di-da-di-da, let's get one more at least. Maybe we have more bangers. Sorry, y'all.
Find
I do
something
this like
juicy.
freaking every time I get a moment. I just go up and down this guy's account because I'm enjoying all of this. Oh, here we go. Keon Coleman. Super high variance situation for Keon Coleman. Could he be wide receiver 3? Could he be a game day inactive? Also noted Brady's biggest emphasis to Coleman is maintaining a professional mentality. Oh, dang, I don't like that. The take, I still see Skylar Bell as a high upside swing at Bills wide receiver 3. Yeah, fully agree. I did not. I don't like seeing that. Is he going to be professional
All
on
right.
and off the field? Jesus.
Can we talk a little bit about the history of Keon Coleman just a little bit, because I think I can make sense of this a little bit.
Please
So,
do. Please do.
rookie draft season, when Buffalo drafted him late in the first, you went buck wild for Keon Coleman. And the
I
reason you
did.
did that is because you could not get enough of his personality because it was wild, right?
That's true.
So we knew some immaturity came with it. But here's what I really want to talk about. So Keon Coleman is a developmental wide receiver. And what I mean by that is he was not a wide receiver at the beginning of his college career. In fact, he was a basketball player at Michigan State. And I know that because I love Michigan State basketball and I really rooted for the kid. He
Shout out.
transferred and learned how to become a wide receiver late in his life. So the fact that we're 2 seasons in and it's been a little bumpy, it probably should have been. It's hard to go into the NFL and only play wide receiver for 2 or 3 years in your life, and next thing you know, you're playing against like NFL talent. It's hard, man. So I think it's a developmental thing, but I what I'm seeing on Sleeper and some of the other stuff I follow, I think it's very positive for Keanu right now. There was a clickbait on Sleeper today that the new coaching staff, which was just his offensive coordinator before, is feeling a lot better about him right now.
Oh,
I think this is a good. He's not going to find redraft, though. If we're talking best ball, Smith, if we're talking best ball, he's on a lot of best ball squads because in best ball, sometimes when you're drafting in the 18th or 20th round, all you need is a guy that can get 5 touchdowns and spread it out and fill a gap. So I think there's better days ahead. I don't think he's a wide receiver 2, though.
uh, no,
I think he's a wide receiver 3.
I think he might be 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I'm burnt. I'm burnt from the guy. And then honestly, maybe I have the
You should
poplar.
be burned, dude.
Yeah.
You should be burned on Keon, man. There was he's burned you in redraft. He's burned you in dynasty.
Yeah, in Dynasty, man, I can't with the dude. I mean, no offense to him. By the way, I love Khalil Shakir still. That guy, I might even put him as wide receiver 1 just because I struggle with Mr. Moore here. I do struggle with him. And honestly, I really do. This might be like this guy might be a popular take here, but I love getting Skylar Bell.
You
I'm
know
not
what?
saying Skylar
So
Bell is definitely better. Hmm?
I have a version of Keon Coleman in my world too, just like you did. And who I can't I can't remember his name right now, but who was a running back for Houston that went off and just went ham? That I just, for about 24 months after that, left and right, boom, boom, draft him everywhere, and he
Yeah.
never could get going again. I finally dropped him everywhere.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just
I can't believe I
struggling
can't
with the
remember his
name.
name, but we all
Honestly,
have it, Smitty. We all do. All right, let's get one more, and then we're gonna get into some best ball.
all right.
Let's get a juicy.
James Cook's effective role is well.
That
Okay,
we're not
sorry.
talking
Let's
about
see what
James
this
Cook. He's
has
gonna
to
be.
say. You know what? Okay, it's an article. We're not going to deal with that. Okay, I think we're good here.
All right,
But
let's get
yeah,
into some best ball.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Smitty. So we are Zane Danani Hanani.
Same
Thank you
D.
very much. Get some followers, man. I'm going to start following. I'm actually going to get on Twitter just to follow him to give him some love because I like what he's doing. I do. But this is a Dynasty podcast. Some of our folks don't play best ball. I think most of them do. But best ball is something that I'm very passionate about in life. I cannot wait because we spent 8 months in the off season having nothing to do. This year we get World Cup and Olympics, but the reality is we get a dead zone where we need to keep doing things. And best ball fills that need. And the thing I love about best ball is we do a lot of best ball leagues. We do $5 or $10 leagues. And the reality is we're always trying to mock draft. We're always getting ready for redraft. And the reality is this is the best way to get ready for redraft season and still have fun, still compete for your money. It's just a great way to really understand ADP properly. Now, the ADP does change a little bit, but for the most part, you get the feel about it. But Smitty, I mean, we started best ball together, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We're about what, 4 years in, I think?
Yeah, you know what we started Dynasty and Best Ball at the same time, dude. That's fun to know. But yeah, I don't remember when. It
Yeah,
was
we
it
did.
was a time ago.
It was a little bit of time ago, but this is the best way to get with your boys. We got a group of, I'd say, 12 to 20 people. It's random in and out of leagues, but I mean, we usually draft what, 20, 30? I mean, we draft a lot of leagues, man. We really do. But let's get into some best ball. So, Smitty, best ball strategy is changing always.
Oh my.
And I made a very bad air last best ball season that I keep reminding myself of is I fell in love with there's a strategy in best ball and there's just like you can build your squad differently. But if I'm on this build, I want this many wide receivers, this many running backs, like, and depending on the build, like I thought I had a plan. And I realized things changed in the NFL quite a bit last year, and we need to keep changing those plans because draft strategies change. So this year, there's some things I've really noticed from a drafting standpoint, but I'd like you to talk a little bit about what have you noticed difference and what strategies are you liking this year? And I'm sure I've seen you, you're working on 3 or 4 different strategies depending on which league it is. Every league's different, but talk to me a little bit about those things.
All right, well, my, what I've realized is, and honestly, this is common. This is not like a big revelation, but I do want to call it out because it kind of smacked me in the face. Incredible value in quarterback late. Incredible value. I mean, the value is so disgustingly great. I mean, I had a board on me, so and I had to remove it because Sleeper does not work well on a computer. But I mean, the rounds where you can get Dak, the rounds where you can get Herbert, the rounds where you can even get Matthew, if you want Stafford to be your QB1, which honestly I don't even know if I fully suggest that. But I mean, if you wanted to play that way, you can you can do crazy builds, and it's just all I guess what I'm really trying to say is I'm low key out on early QB. And I
Hear that?
hate to be that guy because I really do love my Josh Allens. I do love my Lamars. I do love those type of players, but I don't feel the need to like I don't feel the need to have that advantage anymore. I just don't. Especially with with the running back situation, how that pool clears out way too quick, way too soon. So with that being the case, I'm sorry. I might fade Allen. And I hate to admit it.
I I'm probably on best ball draft 30, and I don't think I actually have it. I think Josh Allen might be the only player I don't have a share of.
Oh my God.
Like legit, I really think that because so last year I noticed that the shift happened where people were fading QBs in best ball. And I remember there was a draft probably about 80% of the way through best ball where I just got so pissed off at everyone fading quarterbacks. I just said F you, and I think I drafted like 7 QBs in like 8 or 9 rounds, and I'm like, "I don't even care, you take my $10. F all you guys. I'm sick of you guys." This year, that has gone on steroids. And I I think it's part of the reason we need to realize and change strategies because the NFL it's changing at a rapid pace right now. We've gone from the years where it was zero RB drafts, where RBs were getting hurt. RBs are staying healthy because, oh yeah, there's 2 running backs on every team. They're taking workloads off guys like JT, which is a good thing. So running backs are staying healthy. Last year, tight ends ate. I mean, when you look at 12 personnel, it might have been a different person, like we were talking about with LA every single week, but tight ends did really good. So we can't guard players from a defensive standpoint anymore. And teams are lighting up scoreboards. There's very few teams out there that you're like, this is going to be a hard team to score on. I mean, maybe 6 or 7 in the league. But there's a lot of points. And when there's a lot of points, quarterbacks score a lot of points. But
Mhm.
a lot of teams are getting a lot of points. So that's why when I look at the fading QB side, I'm with you, man. Like it's on. Like it's totally off. But what I'm also realizing that a strategy that's really changing for me this year is what type of RB that I want on my team. That has really changed for me. I've been doing zero RBs as I'd probably say more than 60% of drafts over the last 3 years. I mean, you've seen me.
Yeah.
I'll go heavy wide receivers, but the reality is I did that very little this year. And when I'm looking at these top dogs, I think there's 12 amazing running backs and ish.
Yeah.
But I also think there's another 6 to 8 right after that that are frigging awesome. And I think when we look at the top 20 running backs that are in the league right now, it's the best it's been for a very long time. And let's just talk about the people that have joined the game we love. Jameer Gibbs, Robinson, Love, Achon, Bucky Irvings. We look at guys like losing my mind from the Raiders at the moment.
Oh, Genty.
Genty. But the point is, Amari and Hampton, like the point is, we've had some really good running backs enter the league, and everything has to be adjusted to that. I want to own as many of the top 20 backs as I possibly can in those first few rounds traditionally right now,
Mhm.
where that used to be dominated on those top 20 wide receivers. The other side of that bar for me is the NFL 12 personnel broke the NFL last year. That's going to continue. It's a copycat league. But what we're going to find out of it is teams will adjust to the 12 personnel and shut the tight ends down more and allow those running backs to have a little bit more wiggle room as well. So I really want, as I at least want 2 of those top 20 guys. And I usually didn't want any of the top 20 guys. I usually wanted the 25 to 40 guys before and just stack everywhere else. But I'm really building around running backs right now, Smitty. I really am.
I mean, dude, I'm telling it's too hard to do. I mean, well, I say that because like I gotta have a Puka, right? I have to have a Puka, and if I don't get a Puka, I really would love to have a receiver that is going to be a first round receiver. I really do want those type of players, and I feel like the receiver value in round 2 is like even juicier. But to just go so RB heavy in the top rounds, I mean, I feel it. I really do, and it makes me feel good after that entire team's drafted. Like, whoa, I was able to get Omarion Hampton. Let me chill. I was able to get I was able to get James Cook and Omarion Hampton, and then later was able to get Kyron Williams. I would freaking love that trio, right? But I hate how my receivers look after that. And sometimes I remember doing a draft where I got those 3 monster running backs. Well, those three great top running backs, and then for some reason I went Lamar Jackson after that. And then after that draft, I said, you know what? Never again. I'm sorry, I can't do this because I'm not happy with the wide receiver depth after that. So I'm frankly getting frustrated with the running backs just getting eaten up. And I honestly totally get it. Everything you said makes sense. They're about to have a great year because of how teams are going to shut that 12 personnel crap down. I totally understand that. And I still love me a receiver, and I really do have to if I don't get him in the first, I gotta have him in the second because I need that top target receiver. I need it.
So here this is why I think it's changed. So I've got the ultimate draft kit up by the fantasy footballers. We love that.
Shout out.
Here's the best ball rankings. So as I'm going through this, if I go through running back 26 or below, and
Hmm.
traditionally when I'm obviously you have the if someone gets injured, you smash. That's always there in a zero RB. But before when I was looking at touches, it was just a little different than it is now with all those guys coming in the league. So running backs 26 or below. We've got Jadarian Price, Ramondre Stevenson, Jalen Warren, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, RJ Harvey, Blake Corum, J.K. Dobbins. That's 26 through 34. Now I'm going to talk about this man who's number 35 later. That's Kyle Monangai. But for right now, I'm just going to stick right at that J.K. Dobbins. I look at that and I'm when I'm doing my strategy and I'm like, if I get there and I need their RBs, I'm like, I don't want these guys, but I put that in the same context where I go down to wide receiver 26 as well on the same side of it. Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Carnell Tate, Roma Doomsday, Christian Watson, Jordan Taysom, Brian Thompson, Marvin Harrison, Parker Washington, Jordan Addison, Alec Pierce. Like I go down this list and I'm like, I would rather draft in this range and this tier on the wide receiver than I would the RB tier. Like that's what's completely changed for me this year. And it's just wild when I think about it. But man, these top RBs are just they're dogs.
Oh yeah.
Like your top 10 guys are dogs. They're all dogs, man.
But if I'm
Any
being
one of
honest with you, that range of running backs is like, I hate to say it, but that is my sweet spot. I kind of love those guys. Obviously, you got Quorum there. I'm imagining a 50-50 split, but less efficient than Kyron. And we have guys like Chuba Hubbard. I mean, honestly, yeah, we do have a Jonathan Brooks situation. That guy's healthy. We're finding to see what he has to deal with. I understand the issue there. J.K. Dobbins, oh my God, smash. Oh, I love me. I reach for the man. I really do. And Ramondre Stevenson, look, I get it. He is not nearly as exciting as Travion Henderson, but I feel like I have consistency with that guy. And I mean, we'll talk about him later, but you also mentioned possibly a guy that I will draft every chance I get because he's always there because nobody likes him.
Well, I'll tell you, if it's the guy I was just talking about, Mr. Kyle, there's a reason you haven't drafted him because I won't let anybody else
I
draft
mean,
him.
that's true.
Him and Hendy,
That's true.
baby. So this range of RBs I'm talking about, this is literally what's peppered in my dynasty squads. I just don't want it in best ball this year. And I can make an look at Chuba Hubbard's probably going to be the starter. Chuba Hubbard is the starter. Tony Pollard is the starter. I see
I
that,
rock
but
with
I'm like,
that.
there's
I
nothing
rock
wrong
with
with that.
that.
Not love that as my RB3. I would. But if
Oh,
I
yeah.
just go two studs, if I can get, let's just say Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley, and then I go get my wide receiver there and I add one of these guys in as my RB3, that's where I'm happy. But I want those two dogs. Like, and at the very least, I got a hero RB. Like, I have to have somebody in those first two rounds. I think it's more important than QBs this year. And these are even in three wide receiver starts and only two RB starts. Like, I want to lock that position in. And it hasn't been that way in a while for me. So it's a little crazy. The other side that
That's
I'm
fine.
seeing is it's also I'm doing a lot of, and I've done this over the years, but I'm doing a lot of just fade tight ends. And I think I got hurt in some best balls over the last couple of years doing that. This year, I don't feel like I'm going to get burned on that at all. I love this crop of tight ends that's in here. You know, if I don't get one of the top five guys, I'm going to get three young athletic tight ends and just roll with it. And that's where your Rams tight ends comes into every draft strategy I have. It's like, okay, what's the last one left? And I'll just draft it because they'll get some targets throughout the year. Mine is Higby. I don't have a lot of Higby. It's really Fergie and Claire. Like,
Dude, he is the perfect last pick because I don't know if it's still the case. It should be, or it shouldn't be, but I understand. It should be. He's one of those guys in the 999 ADP, and it's like there's a lot of crazy value in the 999. Like I guess they just haven't been picked up a lot. I mean, I understand some of these rosters are shorter, so where you just don't really care about those guys, but yeah, he's one of those, and they're all mainly tight ends. Like, I mean, look, you can say what you want about Evan Ingram, but he's in the 999 range where you have to like really scroll or type his name in to find him. And I wouldn't mind. I honestly do love the idea of the super late tight end. That is like a tried and true thing for me. But honestly, I still feel great about the value I can get from a Tyler Warren, a Harold Fannin, a Tucker Kraft. I still do really like their value. Like I don't know. I think I just really it was so. I am genuinely in love with those running backs you mentioned, the Chuba Hubbard range. I really like that range so much to where I am totally down to get a top tight end. And honestly, the receivers you mentioned down there, the Brian Thomas Jr.'s, Alec Pierce is incredible value. If they were my wide receiver two, I would be a little nervous if they were my one though. Not gonna lie.
I wouldn't be. Let me, I just pulled up a draft that I'm doing right now.
Uh oh.
This is the start 11 super flex, full PPR, no tight end premium, start three wide receivers, two RBs, the rest are flexes. And I'm staring down at these tight ends in round 20. Evan Ingram got drafted in the 20th round. I drafted Eli Stowers in the 19th.
Hello.
But outside of that, I mean, we look at some of these guys that are in here. I'm going to tell you right now, there is a few my guys I'm going to talk about in this show, and I'm going to talk about one right now. Gunner Mother effing hell. Like
Cool. I
there
like that.
there's just if you're drafting with me, you are not going to get the privilege of drafting Gunner Helm unless you really draft him way higher than you should. I love him. I think the potential of his breakout is unbelievable. I got a chance to see him live last year. I went down to Denver for the opening game when Denver played them, and I saw a man when he was running routes that looked like Trey McBride. Like no joke. I kept looking at Cassidy and Tim, and I was like, "This guy looks like Trey McBride on the field." So he's an absolute my guy, and stack him. I just drafted him, which actually probably drafted him a little bit high. I drafted him in the 16th round in a start 11. It's
I
like
mean, you got
perfect.
all the value you needed.
Yeah. But there's a lot of really good tight ends. I got AJ Barner in the 15th in that league too. I faded tight end until AJ Barner. My three tight ends are AJ Barner, Gunnar Helm, and Eli Stowers, and I'm stoked
Can't even
about
be
it.
mad at that. You really can't. That is great. Dang.
So there's a lot of value, I think, in wide receivers and tight ends this year. But let's get into a little bit of stack attacks here. So for those who play best ball, we're going to talk about this for 1 minute, then we'll be off of it. But stacks are the most important thing in best ball. You have to gear your lineup for the best probability of success. And if your QB's throwing 4 touchdowns, you need to have a player in there that's getting some of those. So stacks are the most important thing. If you're not stacking, it's going to be very difficult to win, period. So, Smitty, all right, we're off of the why stacks are important. But, Smitty, let's talk about the stack strategy because this is important. So, for me, if I get one of the top guys, like one of the top guys, if I get Jettas, if I get Jamar Chase,
Sun
like
God.
Puka, that I have to draft their stack early because there's no point in drafting Puka Nakua to get 3 touchdowns in a game if I'm not stacking Matthew Stafford. I wasted that pick. It's still there. You're still scoring points, but I didn't maximize my
Max, yeah.
probability of winning. So you got to have a game plan. Now, if I don't get one of the top 4 or 5 wide receivers, I love stacking wide receiver twos and threes. Like I live to stack a wide receiver three because when a wide receiver three gets in your lineup, you will probably win. Like the reality is they don't get in there a lot, but when they do, your quarterback did, they got there, but all your studs probably scored too. So talking about your stack strategy.
Dude, I absolutely adore that. I'll say this, I haven't got to do this one much, but honestly, I really do like that's not true. I do this quite a bit. My favorite type of stacks are the quarterbacks I'll dump off to a running back to a receiving back. I love that so much. I freaking adore that. That is like my favorite type of stack. Well, I mean, honestly, obviously, I do love a wide receiver one and a quarterback one. That's key. But oh my gosh, I still do really enjoy a dump off. So I mean, look, if you are fortunate enough to get the May and Travion Henderson, that might win you a week. That might win you a freaking week, dude. So I find that type of stack attractive. Bo Nix and J.K. Dobbins, I really love doing that. Honestly, even May and Stevenson, but it's not as attractive. Um, but I'm gonna talk to you about a guy, an absolute my guy, who I have been afraid to stack him, but I'm going to moving forward just because I can't not get this player. Jalen Warren and A-Rod is kind of like that's something that could happen. That's something that's gonna have to happen. I mean, because I feel like A-Rod, all he cares about is getting that ball off quick. So he is super cool with doing a dump off. Love that. And I mean, no more game well. So let's go. Let's go, Jalen Warren. Get all the freaking dump offs he can take. Right. And then also Rico Dowdle has the ability. If you really want to get nasty like that and get both Rico and Warren, sure. Why not? If you want to get one or the other, even more ideal because they're probably your running back 4 or 5 anyways. So and then just get Rodgers in the last because nobody wants him. Shoot, I don't even know if I want him, but I'm okay with drafting because I do love a dump off. I do.
I want that to be the case so bad. I've loved Jalen Warren. I just realized I forgot to put this on the dock, and I'm glad you brought this up, Smitty,
Mm-hmm.
because you might not have Josh Allen on any squads just because of where he's being drafted. I have refused to draft a Pittsburgh Steeler on any team this year, and it's going to be that way through redraft as well. This team doesn't seem like something good is going to happen.
I
I don't
I
know
agree.
why. Like, it's just something bad is going to happen here, dude. Like, I think it's the age of Rodgers. I just think it's the age of Rodgers. Like, I can't go through a New York Jets thing again, dude. That was the most miserable year when I went ham on Garrett Wilson and towards Achilles.
Dude, that was I couldn't imagine being a Jets fan during that time because all the hope, all the momentum, I mean, just pure excitement for what that team set up just for him to oh, dude, I'm getting nightmares myself, but yeah. Um,
But I
I
agree
get it.
with Warren. Your process is great. I think people should draft him. It's just it's my thing. I don't know. But I love Warren. I hope you're right because I do agree the dump offs are going to be there. And I'm not drafting Rico just because we saw him fall off a cliff last year. Like, you remember those 3 solid games, and then it's like he didn't have anything left in his body.
Yeah, I felt bad for the guy, but yeah, I do remember that. I don't know, I am much more of a Warren guy. I don't know if it's late enough, and if I'm telling you, these like you've been saying, these running back runs have been so intense and heavy to where I just, I might need to get I might need to get a Dowdle. I just might have to, just because they go so quick and
His ADP is great. I mean, it's right there. So who is So that's a running back stack. And by the way, I do believe it is very important to stack running backs. And I've never thought that before. Like, I would do it in the past, but I think we've got a lot of really good pass catching running backs in this league. And I think we have to prioritize the stack. And the Drake May Hendy stack, I think, is the most undervalued stack in all of best ball right now. I think there's a legitimate chance that Henry gets 100 targets this year. Like, I think that they are gearing this offense to run through his passing game. But
ooh,
that's just kind of a bold prediction on my part. But I love the guy. But who outside of the running backs, who are your favorite stacks right now?
ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say this stack for the next from here until the end of the season. Maybe even mention it a couple of times in the Super Bowl, just because I like the stack so much. Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin, you come on down. You're going to be on every single team of mine if it can be done. Now, look, what I love about Jaden Daniels specifically is injured. He was injured for the majority of last year. Very disappointing. When I needed him most, he wasn't there. I can't with that. And weirdly, same thing could be said about Terry McLaurin. So both of them have a depressed value because they just really didn't show up well in 2025. So in 2026, I am super okay with taking that depressed value because I honestly still very much believe in this offense in this team. They're also getting a little experimental with this OC they decided to sign. I don't know. I honestly do not know what's going to happen, but I feel very optimistic because I know when Jaden Daniels and when Terry McLaurin are 100 and dialed in and ready to score and like ready to like honestly fight in a division that is honestly pretty tough, they'll show up. They'll show up. Honestly, Terry McLaurin has shown up in 2025. I can't say the same for Daniels. He hasn't. So I am okay with the risk. But I adore that just because it's so depressing. And honestly, it could be a top 10 stack.
I think it's going to be a top 10 stack. But the cool thing about when you're looking at Terry McLaurin is this gets into strategy that we might not have talked about. But when you're drafting, you have to know when your stack, what their ADP is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're stacking Terry and JD5, especially in a super flex, it's so easy to do. It's just easy. And it's hard to find an easy stack. If you go get Jamar Chase in a super flex, chances are you don't have Burrow on the way back to stack. Like
Yeah.
that's just the reality. So it's a beautiful stack. And you know how I build. I love giving myself those late round QBs just in case. Like I'll put a Garrett Wilson on my squad in case I completely swing and miss on the my second QB, and I'm just Geno Smith down later. So I really like that stack. And I do think that look, I've attacked the Washington Commanders offense in best ball. It doesn't matter who I'm picking, I'm attacking it because I look at this. We all want JD5. Terry's a great stack. I don't know if we all want him. We all should want him. But even after that, I look at this. Chick, if I'm drafting JD5, look at stacking at your tight end position is also very important. When you draft a QB, your plan is where do I draft his tight end? Because when that tight end gets in, you want those points for your
Mm-hmm.
QB. Like it's stack in today's world. Chig's there. One of the most undervalued players in all of best ball is Bill. Is
Oh
Bill.
my God, I thought you were about to go the other direction. I was so excited for a
I'm
minute.
not going the other direction. I am going to sit here and have a moment because people, I'm so sick of them dissing Bill. Here's what happened, y'all. The kid got screwed in college. He really never got to play in college. He was learning how to play in the NFL while not learning in college last year. He couldn't block worth crap. He's put on 15 pounds. He looks great. And all he's been doing this whole offseason is learning how to block. The Washington Commanders made it very clear how they feel about the running back room by only signing Rashad White. I love Rashad White. I best ball mania, trying to draft him everywhere because I'm attacking the offense. Rashad White is a career backup.
Oh,
They told us everything they need to know about Bill. The hype we got out of Bill last season, just wait 3 weeks. You are going to hear hype like no other on Bill, and he's going to shoot up those draft boards. This is an offense that's going to be so much better than last year, and it's being priced as last year's offense.
I really hope so, man. Because like I said earlier, this division really is tough and gritty. Like we have an ascending, hopefully, Giants. Obviously, we know the Cowboys is one of the best offenses in the league, and then the Eagles are really trying to get back to greatness. Like it's tough. So I feel like just being in that competition alone is really exciting. And every single freaking commander is cheap.
Yeah,
Like it's everything,
it's wild.
especially Bill.
Bill's cheap as hell. I mean, he's probably being drafted in the RB 30, mid 30 range right now. Like it's wild. He's going to be the starter. He's legit going to be the starter. He needs more respect than that. He should still be a top 32 back, at least drafted. So when I look at this, I got a few favorite stacks out there. And these stacks are designed around my philosophy of not drafting my early quarterbacks this year,
Hmm.
where I'm going to draft guys later that I know I'm drafting the receivers. So here's some of my favorite stacks: Nico, Higgins, and Stroud. Love that stack. Stroud's so cheap. He fits the mold of a late round QB. He could easily sort of throw 35 touchdowns this year. He could. I think he's going to have a much better year. I love that one.
The
Ted,
article did say that the O
Bryce,
line is improving.
yep. Ted and Bryce Young.
Oh
Love that
my,
stack.
ooh, yo, but Bryce
Absolutely
Young
love.
is like one of the last few picks you can do. I love that.
Yep. Love that one. Some of the other ones that I've been drafting a lot. Let me think about probably who my most roster players are here. Um, the Burrow and T Higgins stack is the one that you can make happen.
Hmm.
That one's fantastic for me. But I think I have a favorite stack. I think it's Justin Jefferson and Kyler Murray. It's
Ooh,
QB, early round wide receiver. You can get, especially if it's super flex. Look at Justin Jefferson's been dropping into the second round. So, depending on where you're at, you can come with your RB and Justin Jefferson, or vice versa, JJ RB, and then get your K1 later. And I think it's a good match. Those are kind of
and
where I've
honest
been
to
focused.
God, that's one of those stacks where I would reach for Kyler to make sure
You
that
have to.
happens.
You have to.
You have to.
Because it's a wild card. You have people that like me that believe that he could be the MVP this year. And then you have people that hate him. And it only takes one person to draft him hella earlier than you think. And it's
Dude,
going to happen in every draft.
I'm gonna throw one more out there. I haven't done this enough, but like I guess I'm just saying it out loud now. Uh, and it's like a trio. And it's the Saints. It's the Saints. So I would love to get like an ETN, Tyson, Shuck. I really do like getting all three of them. I'm Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the tight end involved, though he is cheap enough to where if I want to quad stack it, I could. But that is like a trio I really do enjoy because I see so much going through Shuck. Well, I guess what I'm saying is I see Shuck chucking it up. I see him throwing it a lot. I see him passing so much. And we all know ETN, great receiving back. We all know Tyson, he's just in a good situation. If you would rather get Olave, sure, but I'm saying the value is so much better with Tyson. And then if you can get Shuck so late, if you will get Shuck so late, I just feel like that is a nice little trio. And
It's
honestly,
so
and if
funny.
you don't believe, you can totally make that a secondary stack to something even sexier, like I don't know, like a Goff and Amon-Ra, if you want to go that, if you want to go like that. I don't know. Just
Oh god, that stack's gonna be good this year. I was just texting Cass today because it's funny every time I see him building off Shuck and myself, we build a triple stack off it because it's so simple. It's so easy because Juwan Johnson is right there for the taking.
he is.
Even if you don't get ETN, you don't get Olave, like he's right there. So you can at least get Tyson, him, you can get ETN, you can get a lot. Like there's just so many. I love that one. That one's gonna be fire this year. I hope
I hope so. Because
it's one of those that is
we are
real.
really asking a lot out of Shuck. And honestly, was he good? Yes, but was he great? No. And I have accepted that he wasn't. He did not light the league up. He was just, oh my goodness, the Saints might have found something. That's all he was. So we're expecting a lot at him, but
You know
he should
what?
rise.
Denver just found Bo Nix.
True.
Giants just found Jackson Dart. Like, I mean, they just find these players. Like, it's an easier league to play in than it was before because it's not as aggressive. All right. So players your actually favorite players in your ADP side.
Yep. So I mentioned Warner earlier. I absolutely love that. Um, I feel like Watson is still undervalued, so I really enjoy him at like okay, if I was to go heavy RB, I am very okay with Watson being my wide receiver one.
Hell
I gotta
yeah.
say it. I'm super duper cool with that.
He's one of the lowest drafted wide receiver ones. Like I've seen twos draft, like I see T. Higgins drafted before him.
Right, right. So he's another favorite of mine. Dude, like we've spoke on earlier, any of the Rams tight ends, I'm okay with. Uh Actually, how about you name some more so I can think?
So my most drafted players, because I love their ADP, and sometimes I'll draft them a little bit early if I'm on the turns.
hmm
Travion Henderson, first and foremost. Um, Jalen McMillan, way late. I mean, Jalen McMillan's gonna have to be my guy by the time this is all said and done, Smitty. Like he is absolutely the wide receiver two there. And I can make an argument that him and Buka might be wide receiver like 1A and 1B.
Ooh.
Um, I have big things. Jalen Coker, love his ADP, especially if I'm drafting Bryce. Um, let me see some of the other of my top ADP. Jaden Higgins, CJ Stroud.
I'm glad you mentioned Coker because I am super duper into Brazel just as a dart throw. He's there if you need him, and sometimes my teams need just what if receivers, and I feel like Chris Brazel is one of those guys. Thank you for mentioning Coker.
That's what I do. Here's some other things. Kyle Monangai, we already talked about him. He's on almost every squad. I'm drafting him in the 8th round in super flexes, and I'm perfectly fine with him. I think he has a better year than Swift. Um, Kenneth Walker, bro.
Ooh,
I cannot stop drafting Kenneth Walker.
I
Like
thought
I
you were gonna name
just
the other Kenneth because that other Kenneth is is kind of on my
Gainwell.
guys, Mr. Gainwell, dude. I really am on that, and
I
honestly,
wish Sean Tucker wasn't there, and I'd be like ham on Gainwell, like over Bucky. Not that he's going to do better than Bucky, but his ADP just will slam where you're drafting Bucky.
you're right, and man, Tucker is a problem. That is a you hate to see a
I
guy
love.
just get all the innings just for some random to just get the six. Like, oh, I hate that. So I understand how you feel.
I think there's one more. Let me see if I got one more in here. Braylon Allen, I've been drafting like no
Ooh,
other. Oh, here's my dude.
okay.
Um, when I need a late round receiver,
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Lane, man, Jacoby Lane.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he's
Okay.
on.
You caught me by surprise with that one.
No, legit, I think he's gonna be really good. Like, when I'm looking at rookies right now, like, I do think the star of the sun and the moon is aligning in that offense right now with the right QB. I think he's in a perfect spot. I
is
really do. I don't know why, but I do.
is there a okay, so is there a water bet between Chris Brazel and Jacoby Lane that makes sense? Like, is that a straight up good enough water bet? Because I understand that Brazel is like the three, maybe even four, but Lane, I see him as the five, six, seven, eight, nine. But obviously, we still don't really know who the two is over there, so he could be the two. I don't know. I do
I
wonder
think
about
the
that.
two is Jacoby Lane by the time the season's done.
Oh my
I
god,
do not think it's Rashad Bateman. We have been through this
that
before.
is true. That is true. That is so true. I mean, that's
Uh,
true.
I'm down for a water bet, whatever you want to do it on.
Okay, I just because that name was so random to me. I'm gonna see if this makes sense, but I would like to do something with Chris Brazel versus Jacoby Lane. We can figure out the specifics later. I don't know. I feel like I like how you gave yourself a late round rookie that you're stamping your flag on, and I'm stamping my flag on mine. But I just don't know how
Dude, I'm
that'll.
I'm drafting this guy in rounds 19, rounds 20, like,
Bro, he's
you
never
know,
on my
just
board. That was such a random pull. I'm sorry. What? But you
I'm
see the
sorry, man.
path.
I think he's the best ball. Like, I think he could be the uh the key that unlocks the doors in some of my best ball leagues.
Ooh,
But I will say, and I've said this many times to Cassie through text message, that I do believe that our McRib special, McMillan, is going to be the Michael Wilson of last year.
ooh.
That is my bold prediction, number one. Number two bold prediction is Kyler Murray is going to get the MVP this year. And number three is Hendy gets 100 plus targets this year. Those are my three bolds.
God, I hope so. I hope so, man, because he's been a lot of fun to sell, but I have one left just to see what happens.
Which one of the three players won left?
Say what?
Which one of those three players, McMillan, K1, or
Oh, or Henderson. Like Henderson, 100 touches. I mean, God, he. I don't even know if I'm willing to say he deserves it because I really specifically remember a game where Mike Vrabel was like, "Yeah, I know we have Henderson, but we also have Terrell Jennings," and they and the two like had a similar, very, very similar a stat line by the end of that game, which was so disturbing to me. Because
just the
I don't
game,
even
man?
think about Terrell Jennings after outside of that game.
Just the game, man.
That's
Blocking
true.
matters. Players learn how to block a little bit better in their second season. But I refuse to believe that Vrabel does not put someone in the lineup with more touches that can take it to the house on any touch. Like those people, you just give them the ball. Like at some point, they're going to get 10, 20 touches in a game because it's just that one. This kid's electric. And maybe I'm biased. I believed, like I kept saying, I was like, I knew he was second best back. Like I did. I had him above Omari and Hampton. But can I give one more bold prediction,
Oh,
actually?
please.
Because I did forget about this one, and I actually truly believe this one. And this might kill me with this bold prediction for Triple C, but I think Omari and Hampton finishes as the RB1 this year in fantasy football.
Look, we can totally agree with that. Now, I'm gonna say
Really?
this: no, the only okay. You said you can see him as the RB1 overall. Is that what you just
Like
said?
the one.
Okay. Now, the only thing that is stopping me from fully being on board is that I cannot shake the fact that Keaton Mitchell is on his same offense. I just can't
And
shake that. Now we know
everybody
who
needs
Keenan Mitchell is. He has to deal with the King, back in Baltimore, and honestly, he has to deal with another King back in, out in here in L.A. But like this, McDaniel's and goodness gracious, talk about a basketball player. McDaniel's and Mitchell could be. I see that guy being a problem. I really do.
I think the community spent a lot of time talking about how good McDaniel's offense is for tight ends this offseason. And I just don't think we've talked enough about go back to the last 3 or 4 years. Like you went into drafts with rules, and the rule was I want a running back in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Yep,
I want a running back in Mike McDaniel's. Like there was a two or three guys where you're like, I want their running back. I don't think McDaniels has ever had a guy like Hampton. I love Buzz Lightyear and Achon. I do. It is a much different skill set. There is a true workhorse in him. And I think we're going to remember why we want a Mike McDaniels running back again, dude. Like, we really want. And keep in mind, Buzz Lightyear also was so damn good because of Mike McDaniels. What is
that's
he going to
true because
be?
He was too small to really even be bothered with. You're right, man. You're right. This is crazy.
Before
Well,
we end, can we talk about Bucky?
say what?
Can we talk about Bucky before we
Oh, yeah,
end?
please. Yeah, so I'm out. I'm joking. Um, I am concerned. I am concerned though, man, because I is the kid healthy?
Think so. I'm concerned with was the lack of goal line touches in the back part of last year, was that really because of health or because of his size? And up until then, it wasn't about his size. Like they used him as a goal line back. I'm a little bit nervous on that, but I think the fall of Bucky is too much, man. I'm looking at ADPs in here. Like if I look at Bucky in this super flex, let me see where Bucky was drafted. Um, oh my goodness, where the hell was Bucky drafted? The 502.
Oh
So
yeah,
he
yeah, I'd give him a shot there. But I mean, honestly though, there are probably other players I would like around that range as well.
so here's the RBs that went after him.
Yes.
I fully agree on Brees Hall. Like I'm kind of in on Brees Hall this year. Like I really am. But Javante Williams went right after him. In this draft, Trey Van Henderson did because it was the one draft I let Cassidy have him. And then Cam Scattenbo, DeAndre Swift, Quentin Junkins, Brashard Tootin. Like, I think we just forget about how magical Bucky can be. And I can never, every time I think about Bucky, I can't remember who it was on his team, but I just remember them saying, we just need to hand him the gold jacket already. Like, I still remember that comment from his player because when you see that talent, you're like, holy shit, that's a gold jacket. Like, you don't say that too much in the league.
All right. I'm honestly okay. Out of those players you mentioned, the only guy I would not draft in front of Bucky would be Tootin, just because I'm not sure about Tootin either. Um, I'm not sure about C-Rog either, like Chris Rodriguez do. But in best ball, why the heck not? Why the
Mhm.
heck not?
I think our answer is in that running back room. I love Chris Rodriguez. I've always loved Chris Rodriguez. I think he's going to get much more touches than he got in Washington.
Hmm.
But for some reason, they they let ETN go before they sign Chris Rodriguez, which told me I know they didn't want to pay the contract, but it was so easy for them to let him go. It told me something else on a team that's ready to win now. It just told me that there's something else in the building that they're like, we can replace that. And I think it's Tuden. I think there's a good chance that Tuna might be drafted above Bucky by redraft season.
Oh. Oh, I
Like
mean,
imagine when Campy
we'll
starts coming
see.
out.
We'll see. Because
Like if
I,
the Campy comes out that Tuden is the RB1 of the team, like that's top 20 RB drafted then.
oh, for sure.
For sure, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably top 15.
I mean, the
That's a
fact
hell
that
of an
he
upgrade.
actually catches passes and he's fast as can be. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I see. Yeah. I mean, like middle RB2 for sure. You definitely want that. I wouldn't even mind. Dude, honestly, I wouldn't mind if I just go so heavy receiver, go early quarterback, early tight end. If I just go all that, and my first running back is Bucky Irving and Tuden, I honest to God wouldn't mind that. I mean, it's
I would be
weird,
happy.
but I wouldn't mind it.
I'd be happy with that, and I would draft some backup running backs a little bit more than normal just in case for help. But I would love that. I love Bucky. I've got him on a team named the Rumble that
Oh, shout out.
I'm relying him as my RB6. I think he's
Ah,
RB6.
see that feels good. That has got to feel good. I love that. I love that value for him. My goodness, that's a
The
stacked team.
CMC. That's the CMC Taylor, ETN, James Cook team.
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
All right,
congratulations on the
guys.
win.
We went a little bit longer today. Get your best ball season on. I'm telling you, it's a blast. It doesn't cost that much, and it's just fun. The way I break it down to my wife every time she asks me about how much money I spent on fantasy football in the off season, by the way, I always look at her and say, if we go to a movie, me and you, it's like 30 or 40 bucks. I can legitimately have as much fun drafting a best ball team for the next 2 weeks for five.
Dude, that's so true. And also shout out to Mr. Zane's Zahani. I mean, look, it's just a blast reading his or just reading the content, reading the stuff he retweets because it really makes you think I mean, oh my God. Look. We had enough fun with this guy. We had enough fun with the pod. All right. So just, just give his stuff a check.
I
Just
like
check
the
his stuff
logo.
out.
The logo looks legit.
It does. It's
I
pretty
like
sick.
that. Yeah. All right. Get your Zane on. Listeners, we'll see you next week. We're back now. Cheers.
Peace.